Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of Taste Buds. I'm Sinan.
And I'm Ralph. And today we're going to make lasagna rolls. To begin, we're going to start with the sauce that's inside the lasagna. We're going to have 15 ounces of ricotta, 10 ounces of spinach, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 large egg beaten, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. So to begin, we're going to start scooping this out. Take the spinach. There's no real precise way to put this in, just dump everything in. Parmesan. And the egg. And lastly, from the salt and the pepper. A key ingredient to this is prosciutto. Prosciutto is a type of pork, but thinly sliced. And what Sinan's going to do right now is chop it up for us. And while he's doing that, I'm going to start boiling the actual lasagna noodles. Now, with any type of pasta, the key is to put in salt and oil. And we already had the salt and oil in there, so we're going to take 12 uncooked lasagna rolls and place them in. Now, when you start this, make sure the water is boiling rapidly to ensure faster cooking. And while this is happening, stir it around so that they become moist. And stir it until they're completely submerged in the water. So we're going to have this in here for about 8 minutes to ensure that it's more than al dente and it's perfectly cooked. Now you're going to want to make sure that the prosciutto is actually really chopped up. You got to have very small pieces. So Sinan's probably going to cut it up 1 more time, 2 more times, or even 3 if he needs to. Now that Sinan's done with the prosciutto, we're going to take every single bit of it and place inside our bowl. So now if you just grab that.
All right.
Now that we have all the ingredients in our bowl, we're going to start mixing it. You can either whisk it or just use a spatula and start stirring it around. We're going to want to make sure every single ingredient is mixed thoroughly. Now, Sinan, if you can do that for me. I'm going to check on the lasagna. And with the lasagna, every 2 minutes you should be stirring it. Just slightly so that they don't stick together. And since lasagna is a pretty long noodle, check up on it and make sure that none of it's cracked. Because if it's cracked, the rolls are not going to come out perfectly. Now that it's been 8 minutes, we're going to drain the lasagna. Now, Sinan, if you can help me out over here. Yeah. Stir 1 more time. You can turn the stove off. Be the second dial. Okay. And to ensure that it stops cooking, we're going to take cold water and just spray it over the entire thing. Okay. Now that it's stopped cooking, we're going to transfer it in a bowl over to the cooking area. Now that we have the lasagna strips, we're going to take just about 2 at a time, or 3 if we can fit it, and lay them out. And what Sinan and me are going to be doing now is taking 3 scoops of our mixture and putting them on each end and in the middle. And now you're going to want to make sure that they're just small enough, but yet just big enough so that it doesn't overflow. Because that can end up being a problem when it cooks. Spread the mixture so that we cover almost every single part of the noodle. Once that's done, you're going to want to take it On the end, fold it over once so that you have a good start, and start rolling it. You're going to want to tighten it pretty tight so that it doesn't fall apart when it's cooking. Now that we have our first rolls, we're going to take our preparing dish and place them side by side. And you're going to want to do this for every single noodle. And now that our main dish is complete, we're going to start covering it with sauce and cheese. To begin, we're going to use my grandmother's sauce. I'm not going to go in detail what's in it, but for your purposes, you can use any standard marinara sauce, polio, or anything actually. So we're going to take about a spoonful, and not too much, but just enough to cover most of each roll. So if you want to hold this for me. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now to put on top, we have a cup of mozzarella. We're going to use this mozzarella cheese and just completely cover every single roll. Now when this cooks, it will turn a slightly brown color, and that means it'll be perfect. We want to use every single bit of this mozzarella. I think we have a little too much, so we're gonna cut it off once Sinan puts his last amount. And also, to give it a little more of a salty taste, not salty, but a little bit of a hint of salt, we're gonna take about two tablespoons. I'm gonna use my hands for this. We're gonna use about 2 tablespoons of Parmesan, and just put a thin layer over it. Before we put it in the oven, we're gonna want to put any type of aluminum foil on top. This is essential so that we don't overcook the mozzarella. Now we're going to place in the oven. We've had the oven preheated to 450 degrees. And the cooking time for this is 15 minutes covered in aluminum foil. After 15 minutes have passed, take the aluminum foil off and cook it for 10 more minutes. This will cook the mozzarella and give it that golden brown color I was talking about. After that, you're going to want to take it out and let it stand for about 10 minutes. And then it should be ready to eat. And through the magic of internet television, it's already ready. Sinan, if you'd like to go grab it.
I would love to go grab it. Ah, it smells delish.
And there we go. Completed lasagna rolls, ready to be eaten. Shall we dig in?
Please. Oh, thank you. See, you don't even have to cut it because they're already in rolls.
Exactly.
Delicious.
That is great. Well,
thank you for joining us on our 8th episode of Taste Buds. I'm still Sinan.
And I'm Ralph. Next time.
Bye. What kind of cheese is this again? What are the different kinds of cheeses?
Parmesan and mozzarella.
What's the second one? Say it.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Mamma mia, mozzarella, lasagna.
Head on over to shelterproductions.com/tastebuds, where you can watch this episode and others right in your web browser. You can also take a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into the making of the show. Remember, that's shelterproductions.com/tastebuds. Thanks for watching.